I'm Stacy, and this is the For Bricks and Giggles YouTube channel. I was going through some of the videos I put out last year, and I came across one where I was going through goals I had for my Lego collection. And this was probably 8 or so months ago, and it's a video I had totally forgotten I had made. I had listed 10 goals I had for my collection and 10 goals I had completed, so I will link that video, but I'm going to go through and kind of update you all on what I have decided to continue pursuing, what I have completed, and what I'm still working on. Because when I rewatched the video, I realized there were some things I was no longer interested in, some things I had totally forgotten I was interested in, but never did anything with, so that kind of reignited my pursuit of those goals. And then I was really excited that I have actually completed some of my goals since that video was put out. So first I'll tell you the goals I've already completed. One of the top ones was getting a monorail. It really feels like I've had a monorail now for a long time. I guess because it sits out on my coffee table and I look at it every day. It's crazy to think that 8 months ago I was still hoping and saving for that monorail. Second was completing the entire Belleville line. At the point that I filmed that video, I still needed 3 Belleville sets. I had hoped to finish that in 2023 because I got my very first Belleville set in 2003 and I thought it would be cool to finish it on the 20th anniversary of getting my first Belleville set, but I missed it by just a few months. I did finish that in the beginning of 2024. And I'm still trying to figure out a way to create a video to show all of them. That's going to be a very time-consuming process to build everything. I've thought about doing an individual short or TikTok or Reel, whichever one you want to call it, a short form video for each set, and then maybe compiling them into one long form video, because I'm not sure how I'll be able to have space to build them all at the same time. So let me know if you all think that's a good idea or if you have any other suggestions, because I do desperately want to make an entire Belleville collection video, and I just haven't been able to figure out how to do that effectively and efficiently. Third completed goal was completing the farm line. That's the original like 2009-2010 farm line. And 8 months ago when I made that video, I still needed one more set. I had been working on that for, almost 14 years, I guess. And it's not a long line, but they are expensive sets and they're really rare. And that particular combine set was limited edition, I believe, or a special edition. So I think it was a little bit harder for that reason to get as well. I usually don't do a lot with completing lines, but that was such a short series that I just thought it would be nice to have the entire thing since I was that close. And then the fourth goal I completed from that video was getting a Pirates of the Caribbean set. I have not reviewed that one yet for my channel. I definitely will be doing that soon. I have so many ideas for videos and reviews right now. It's really difficult for me to pick and choose which ones to actually do. Since I only release 1 to 2 videos a week, that's all I have time to do. I'd actually love to do more than that, but it's just too time consuming. So I have a list of sets I'm still going to be reviewing. It's just coming up with the order to do them in that's sometimes a struggle. So for the original video that came out about 8 months ago, I was listing 10 goals I had for my collection and then 10 I had completed. So since then I've completed 4 of the 6 goals from that video, which is super exciting. But I thought I'd tell you some other goals I'd completed that weren't specifically mentioned in that video. One was completing the original Millennium Falcon. That's another set I plan to review soon. I have wanted that set since I was a little kid. I've only ever loved the original Millennium Falcon. The other ones are great, but if I could only pick one, and that includes the Ultimate Collector Series one, I would 100% choose the original Millennium Falcon from 2000. So when I got that set originally, it was mostly complete as far as the build goes. I did have to get some pieces. I can't remember exactly how many because I have been working on this set for probably a year and a half or so. So I know I had to complete some of the build, but mostly it was the minifigures. There were like a handful of the minifigure pieces that were actually included with it. And obviously those are some of the most expensive parts for that set. And so it finally came down to needing Han Solo and C-3PO's light pearl gold legs. If you are a new seller to BrickLink, I highly recommend being extra careful of the different gold variations. I had to order those legs a couple of times because people did not know the difference between light pearl gold and regular pearl gold. I know I'm not the only person who has trouble with BrickLink, and I know there is an insane number of colors, so I don't fault people. Just as a tip, be super careful because the price of that part is way different for light pearl gold and regular pearl gold. all of that to say, I have completed my Millennium Falcon and will be reviewing that soon. Getting a Fabuland set was on my kind of like lifetime bucket list of sets to get, so completed that goal as well. Thank you again to Barn Bricks. Some of these were goals I never thought I would really ever get the sets. Like, they were dream sets, but I never thought I'm going to be able to go out of my way to buy these sets, so I never made them actual goals. And those were the Dark Forest Fortress and the Imperial Trading Post. So thank you to Lee for helping me make those a reality. Definitely on my most wanted sets of all time, but again, never thought I would get to own them. And I have reviewed both of those already. This was just a teeny tiny set on my bucket list, and I just got this recently. Someone reminded me how much I wanted this set, and so I finally decided to buy it. And I actually have it here so you can see it. And this is just the little green crocodile buggy. I wanted this set when I was a kid because it came with a female minifigure, female race car driver. I just thought it was the coolest set ever. So this actually just came in the mail recently, and it's been kind of a bucket list set since it was originally released. And then the final goal I completed since that last video, but that wasn't specifically mentioned in that video, was getting a larger Studios set. The Studios line from the early 2000s was a super fun line. My siblings and I shared the Steven Spielberg large Studio set. My parents got that like as a display model. They were able to get it for a discount because it was the one that was used and built on display. And so it didn't specifically belong to my brother, sister, or I. It was kind of a shared set. And I only ever had like a couple of really tiny polybag size Studio sets. So it was a goal to get a larger one. And again, I will be reviewing that one soon. It's on the list to review. So many great sets that I need to still review, and I can't wait to share with you all soon. So again, thank you to anyone who has helped me achieve these goals, whether it be gifted sets or like sending me deals you hear about. All of that means so much to me. The LEGO community is super supportive and usually super kind, and that means the world to me. So I really appreciate anyone who has helped me achieve my LEGO dreams and LEGO goals. Okay, so these are goals that were in my original video that I think I'm no longer super interested in pursuing. One was I wanted to complete the Desert Adventurers line. Yes, if I happen to do that, that would be great, but I just don't think I'm gonna make it a priority. There's just other things I think I'd rather spend the money on at this point. Always looking for deals on any form of adventurers, but I think I'd rather have different sub-themes since I have so much of the Desert Adventurers already. Along the same lines was I wanted to complete the Wolfpack series. I have the biggest set from that series. I'm no longer feeling the drive to get the other two smaller sets. Again, if I find them for a good deal, I might, but I'm not going to be actively looking for them. I also mentioned trying to get some smaller Christmas sets that came out. There were a lot of like special edition, limited edition, gift with purchase style Christmas sets that I've missed over the years. I have such a hard time building all of the large sets, and by such a hard time, I mean I don't. I usually pick a few of them to build every Christmas, so I don't think I'm going to pursue that one either. I love the small Christmas sets. I love all the Christmas sets, but it's just too overwhelming, and it's not really something I need to have for my collection. I think again, I'll be putting that money towards something else. And then finally, I had tossed around the idea of maybe doing some army building of some sort. I never really came up with any good ideas that I was really passionate about collecting to the point that I'd want an entire army of it. So at this point, I don't think I'm going to do anything with that either. Of course, these could change in the future. Those are just my thoughts on things I'm probably going to let go, at least for the time being. And then I think there was only one thing left that I hadn't either completed and that I do still want to try and complete, and that's the Zalax racers from the early 2000s. I had completely forgotten about that, and so actually shortly before making this video, I went through this bag I had of like miscellaneous Zalax racer parts to figure out which ones I still needed and which parts I still needed for each of those sets. I probably have 6 or 7 that are already completed, so I just needed like random parts for the remainder of those sets, so I will still be working on completing that line. Luckily, I have the most expensive and rare ones, Sub-Zero and Ghost, so it should not be super difficult to get the remainder of them. I just hadn't put the wanted list together on BrickLink to do that, so I will actively be trying to complete those, hopefully by the end of 2024 or 2025. And so now to kind of wrap this up, I just have a handful of goals for the future of my collection. The nice thing is that when it comes to my collection, I could stop collecting Lego today and I would be perfectly content with everything I have. I really have done 99% of what I wanted to with my collection. I will continue to collect forever, don't get me wrong, but I'm now at the point that I'm being super selective on what I buy. I'm not feeling that push to get stuff all the time, which is honestly a super great feeling. So this is just a few things that if I could add these, that would be, you know, kind of icing on the cake as far as my collection goes. I sort of mentioned this earlier. I'd like to get a Jungle and a Dino Island Adventurer set, so one of each for those collections. I really don't have any for either of those, and nothing specific. I mean, obviously the largest sets are going to be the coolest sets for those collections, but I'd happily take a small set for either of those, just so I can say I have them from all of the Adventurers lines now. Somehow I really ended up focused on Desert and Orient Expedition, so the other two kind of got left behind while I was trying to get the other sub-themes. So hopefully that won't be too much of a challenge to get a tiny set for each of those. I'm still trying to get a Space Police 2 set, something small there. I just would like to have one set from Space Police 2, multiple from Space Police 1, right there, and multiple from Space Police 3. So I just need one from Space Police 2 so that I have a little bit from all of them. I have one teeny tiny Ice Planet 2002 set, probably the smallest one they made for that series. I just parted it together so I'd have one. I'd either like to get a set that has Dr. Kelvin in it or just get the Dr. Kelvin minifigure. Either way, it's going to be expensive, but that's definitely on my bucket list for one of the two sets that she comes in, or to at least get the minifigure. The new wave of collectible minifigures, Series 26, really inspired me to want more 90s space, and since I only have the absolute tiniest set from Ice Planet 2002, I just think that would be the ultimate set or minifigure to add to my collection. And then finally, I just have two specific sets I'd like to add eventually. The Life on Mars Arrow Tube Hanger. I played with that set endlessly as a kid. My brother had that one, and it's been on my bucket list for a long time to get that one. So if you all see it for a good deal and you're not interested in getting it, definitely send those listings my way, because I'm going to be actively searching for that one. And then finally, the last set I'd love to have for my collection is the Sail and Fly Marina, set 6543 from 1994. A wonderful classic town harbor set. It's one I looked at a lot on eBay and stuff when I was a kid, and I'd kind of forgotten about it until recently, and I just love classic towns. So if it's possible, I would love to get that one for my collection as well. But like I already said, I'm super happy with where my collection is now. It was really cool to see what my goals were 8 or so months ago and see how far things have come. All the amazing sets I've been able to add. It's been so fun, and I'm so happy to have Lego in my life and be able to do this as a career. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. And if you're interested in extra videos and content, check out the membership program starting at only 99 cents a month. There are already over 50 episodes available. See you all next time.